Okay, well, what to expect? Essentially, I'm going to be sharing my story on how consistency has actually helped me to be, by the grace of God, where I am today. And because in reality, consistency is that element that turns an average into excellence. So there's no way you can achieve outstanding success in life without consistency. So I believe that this afternoon we're going to be cross-fertilizing ideas with the delegates to talk about consistency and how it can make them to be, the top 1% in their area of, business, career, and in their endeavors. Okay, I think this is a great program put together by the convener of the Future Summit. Because I love to quote from the Bible a lot. The Bible says that faith comes, by hearing and hearing. So when there's need for us to keep talking about subjects like this, so that we can all achieve our full potential. So kudos to the convener and the organizer of this summit. Okay, so I'm going to walk around. I hope this permit me to walk around. Okay, so that I'm not stuck. All right, I know it's afternoon, and some of us, you have been listening since we've been here since morning. So you heard so much about consistency today. So I'm not going to be defining it again. So, but what I'm going to do is to tell you a story. How many of us wants to listen to a story? And the story is going to be a real story, an African story, a Nigerian story, because while I was invited to come for this program, I was tempted to come up with slide, writing, but I told myself that I'm telling you the story of Elon Musk. All of us want to hear the story of Elon Musk, the richest man, the story of, I just told myself that, see, let me tell you my own personal story and how consistency has helped me to be, by the grace of God, where I am today. So, okay, so I want to know how many of us are working for ourselves. You run a business. If you run a business, let me see your hand. I want to know the demography of the people in the house. So if you work in an organization, can I see if you are a career-oriented person? Okay, all right. But what is common to every one of us? It's success. Everybody, just like the Mr. Fred said, everybody wants to maga, everybody wants to blow, everybody wants to hammer, whether you're in career or whether you're in business, right? So, but then, this is my profile, and I'm going to start that story by, please, next slide. Today, everybody, everywhere I go, my name is Obadare Adewale. I'm the co-founder and the chief missionary officer of Digital EnCode. Today, well, I tell people that I'm arguably the most credentialized cybersecurity professional in Africa. You know why? I have, as of today, I have 56 professional certifications. As in 1, 2, 3, 4, 56. So, please, can you, so that you don't think it's a lie. I've been to Harvard, I've been to Oxford, I've been to most of the well-known universities. But next, please. But wait, before you, okay, so, but let me tell you the truth. Please pay attention. But I started from where? In 2000. So that's where my story is going to be. So today, so please put this at the back of your mind as I go through this slide. So next, please. So next. So these are all the professional certifications. Next. These are all the next. So, and then of course all the awards. I can't even remember how many awards I've won. Next. I'm speaking in different places all over the world. Next. And just recently I won the Forbes Best of Africa Digital Trust Leader. Okay, next. Of course, I'm a Forbes Technology Council member. Next. Of course, in 2016, I won the honorary citizen of Georgia. Next. also the key to the city of Georgia next. So these are all. But please, can you, and out of those certifications, I was the first licensed penetration tester in Africa. But next, please, can you go back to where those schools are? Next. Okay? No. Here. So this is the story I wanted to tell you. In the, talking about consistency and if it will resonate with some of you. I came to Lagos first in 1993. I finished secondary school 1992. Right. So, to cut a long story short, I came to Lagos because to do what? I wasn't born rich. I came to sell, I was selling on the bridge of Ekodumata. Yeah. So I tell people a lot when I'm sharing my story, if you want to dare me, yes, we can go to Ekodumata. Those people are still there selling. They are still there, selling. So each time, because I told one guy, I said, you, Ekodumata, you are selling on the bridge. Say, why are you lying? And I say, okay, let us go. So I'm saying to all of you too, but if that is vague to you, so fast forward, I couldn't, after finishing secondary school in 1992, I couldn't get into, because I was hustling, just the same way everybody has hustled. I was hustling between 92 to 97 before I could get into Polytechnic. 92 to 97, that's how many years? That's 5 years. So that means most of the people that we have left secondary school together, they graduated. Yeah. So, fast forward the 20,000, I finished OND at the age of 25. Of course, when some of my mates were excited, they were so, they were happy, because most of the people in class, they were 16, 18, 20, but maybe very few of us, I was already 25 with OND, so I knew that I must sit down and know what I'm going to do with life. So, because there is no time, I have just 20 minutes. Because we're talking about heart of consistency, so I knew that if I will not going to hammer any hammer if I don't sit down, and I don't sit down without trying to repeat what Mr. Fred has said, that there is need for me to carve a vision for myself. Because I'm always very careful with the word consistency, because you want to hear the truth, you can be consistently doing the wrong thing. Yeah, so that's why it's a dangerous, it's like two-edged sword. I've seen, that which is why the first thing I like to tell people is, before you venture into consistency, I think the first thing you need to do is to do what? Retreat. And that was what I did in 20,000. In fact, when I came to Lagos after my OND, because of the discrimination between OND and BSc, I got into Lagos State University to study computer science. At 300 level, I was talking about retreat because we wanted to talk about consistency. Because guess what? I have the option to consistently continue with my BSc. Because of course the OND is discriminated against. But guess what? Because of the heart and the ability to sit down to say, okay, let me take a stock of my life. I'm already 25. Now I'm doing BSc, and I started to look and do research about the kind of job I wanted to do. And I find out that by the time I will finish that BSc, guess what is going to happen? I will already be graduating from LASU at the age of 31. I paused. And that's retreat. Because if you don't retreat, sometimes you might be going in a particular direction. Your ability to be able to sit down and ask yourself, not people asking you yourself, ask yourself vital questions, right? And I asked myself, I said, I cannot. And that was how, of course, by the grace of God, I knew that, of course, nobody, 31, most of the fresh jobs. Some of my friends continued. Yes, in fact, a lot of them that have even done HND, continue with that BSc, but I decided to leave, and that was the turning point. So I had to redefine education for myself, right? And in redefining education for myself, of course, with OND Unlimited, and that was how Digital EnCode was founded in 2003. You understand? Now, I knew there is a race, right? And that's what is this race? Don't forget, because I have burned the bridge. I've left LASU. So this, I have to work for myself. When you work, so which is why I'm being careful when people talk about consistency. In fact, in my life journey, humbly speaking, I'm always careful when people talk about all this kind of subject because you can, which is why you have to ask yourself, it's about you. Nobody can do it for yourself. And that day that I left LASU, I started to write professional certifications, from that day. And that's where consistency actually, but it first started with what? Retreat. Retreat means you want to ask yourself the right question. Where do you see yourself? Because let me be honest with you, some of us are in an organization. Consistently, you are doing that job. After BSc, you are consistently doing that job, passionately, hard work, consistently. And then you're asking for promotion. Promotion has not come. Do you know why? Because you have not retreated to ask yourself, what are the opportunities in this place? You read accounting. You have never added anything to that field. And you are praying to God. God should help you. And God is saying, I have helped you. But some people, do you understand? I don't know. I'm trying to rush because there's no time. You are running a business to look at what Mr. Fred said. If you are consistently running that scratch card, believe me, he won't have money to go to America. He won't have money to go to America. So that's why it's always good, because before we emphasize on the word consistency, make sure you are doing the right thing. And the only way you will know you are doing the right thing is to ask yourself continuously, ask the right questions. You understand? Right. So when it takes that ability, and that was what I did, because I was able to ask myself that right question, then I started to write professional certification, and then of course, before I knew what was happening, consistently, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I knew that there is no way. And of course, it helped my personal business. It helped my business. Of course, I met a business partner. We started to grow the business, and and guess what? And because that was actually how I developed the heart and science of developing myself consistently. And guess what? Because the kind of business I was doing, it's so funny that if there's no consistency, as in ability to do the right thing, believe me sincerely, I won't even want to mention the kind of people my organization competes with. They are global organizations. And the only way, because what consistency, what it helps you to do is to make you to be in the top 1%, either in your career or in your business. So imagine, I'm vertically challenged. Or anywhere I go, by the time they read my profile, you want to see somebody that is very tall and calm. And that was the idea, to build an intimidating profile. Why? But true, it was consistency that actually helped. Because along the line, sometimes it's difficult, to do all of these things. It is very, it takes, if there's no consistency, there is no way. And which is why I'm going to leave you with a box. I call it cash box. So that cash, we all want cash. So don't forget, we started from saying you have to learn to do the right thing first before you can say you want to do it consistently. And in that box, because what will help you, there are enablers. So what that cash box, there are elements in that cash box that are enabler for what? That will help you your consistency, approach to have outstanding success in life. So cash is, instead of, C-A-S-H, which is spelled K-A-S-H, cash. And that is what? Knowledge. The first K is knowledge. But what kind of knowledge? Appropriate knowledge. In fact, I wanted to do, there was something I did sometimes ago, and I want to do, because everybody has knowledge. But the question is, what kind of knowledge? What kind of knowledge? Where's that? Let me just do something quickly. Don't worry. Just bring it back. Let me quickly do it here because there's no time. Let me quickly ask you a question. Let me ask you a question quickly. Sorry. The challenge with this kind of program is a race with time. Okay, but I'm going to do something quickly. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, it's coming now. I want to do something quickly. Let's see.
Isn't it crazy how you can have all the success in the world and still feel alone?
You know it? Okay, who sang it? I know. So everybody, yes. And you know, I'm sure if I say I'm going to give you $50, everybody will know, you know. But the question is this. So sometimes when we talk about success, it's amazing that most of the things that we know, we're talking about, I want to talk about enablers that will help you in your quest for consistency. And the first one is knowledge. Because knowledge is one critical factor that will help you. And especially whether in your career, whether in your business, whatever you're doing. But the question is what kind of knowledge? Yes, we all have general knowledge. But if I ask everybody today, do you know the population of Africa? Don't cheat, don't look at anything in your phone. Hello, sir. Yes. Do you know, I just want to ask, do you currently know the population of Africa? Who knows? If you know the population of Africa. 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion. Right, okay, so there is a follow-up question. Now, how many of you have heard about the word BRICS?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, tell us. No, hold on. No, don't say yes. Don't yeah. Do you know it? Or she knows it? I just wanted to know.
Okay, so it's a combination of 5 countries.
Okay.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
And South Africa. Okay, fantastic. So the question I wanted to ask you is, what do you do?
Okay, I just graduated from school.
Okay, what did you study? Okay, you're a law student. All right, so how about you? Oh, you study law. Okay, so let me ask you a follow-up question. I'm going somewhere, right? Because I want to connect the dots. Just 2 days ago, 5 other countries were added to BRICS. Do you guys know?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. You can see I'm only hearing. Now look at the percentage of this room. Look at the percentage of this room. Everybody in this area, they don't have a clue. Everybody here. You have a clue. But you're not saying something? No, I'm asking, but you guys are not. Okay, you're not interested. Okay. Okay, so 5 countries were added. No, so can mention. No, don't Google it. No, don't do that. I want to connect the dots. Okay, so tell me how many countries added yesterday. No, Nigeria is not part of BRICS. No, Nigeria. Hello, don't Google. I'm looking at you now. Just yesterday. Yeah, Nigeria was not. Yeah. So, do you guys know 5 countries were added? Ghana. Okay. No, you have Googled it. Okay, UAE. No, Ethiopia. Okay. Saudi Arabia. No, Mr. Fred, don't tell them, please. Okay.
Argentina, yeah.
No. You have Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, UAE, Iran, and Egypt. Now, let me tell you something. To be honest with you, hello, you know what I'm trying to test? Most of us, but when I ask you a question about Ashake, everybody corrupts.
I was on there.
Well, hello. Okay, you know what you are even saying? a worse situation. Let me be honest with you. It's a worse situation. And let me be honest with you. Let me tell you why it's a worse situation. You know, there are three types of people. Some people make things to happen. Some people watch things. They watch things that happen. And some people are totally indifferent. You understand?
No.
And hello, hold on. Calm down. Calm down. Don't try to defend yourself. Because at least, because I have question about the breeze too. You understand? It's not to judge anybody. No. This question is not. I'm just trying to call your attention to something. You cannot blow if you know ordinary things. Let me be honest with you. All the people in the world that have even now, look at Burna Boy with the latest song now. You see, they're already calling him out that the song is nonsense. You see, that's to tell you that the world has zero tolerance toward mediocrity. But unfortunately, most of us wants to live. You are living in mediocrity, and a lot of people have lived consistently in mediocrity, and they want to blow. How? That is an oxymoron. It's a contradiction. Do you understand? And what am I trying to tell you is, I'm talking about knowledge. Knowledge, appropriate knowledge. Whatever you're doing, if you're a lawyer, if you're a medical doctor, if you're into fintech, if you're an accountant, in your area, in your field, you need the best of the knowledge. You need to know what others don't know. That is what will set you apart. And when you then do those things consistently, you want me to tell you the truth? You will blow. You will hammer. Whatever name you want to call it. You understand? So that's the point. And that's why, because we have to be careful. That's why people say, oh, consistency. Don't forget, that's where I started from. You have to do things, right things consistently. The question is, which is why we started from retreat. In your retreat state, you need to ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? And if you are doing the right thing, am I doing them the right way? And if we are doing them the right way, am I getting them done well? Those are three critical questions. Because that's the only way benefits will come. If those questions have impact every area of life, you want to hear the truth. And that's why you cannot be saying, because when you are walking in the right direction, speed will be an advantage. But when you are moving in the wrong direction, speed is not an advantage. You remember, I don't want to mention the name of anybody, one skit that they were showing, one boy that they handed over this thing, and they will not say it was one president that took over this thing and ran the other way. I don't want to mention this, do you understand? So, some of us want to hear the truth without mentioning, but we all know that all of us saw that video. When one boy was running, he was leading, and then he gave it to his other guy, and the guy ran the opposite. Believe me. And he was consistent. He was consistent in the opposite direction. So believe me sincerely. That's why when we are talking about consistency, you have to be careful. Which is why I'm talking about what? Knowledge. The knowledge we're referring to must be appropriate knowledge in your field. Be the best. Mr. Fred was talking about, have you read, the biographies of people? Because for me, let me be honest with you, as at the time when people say, you have an intimidating profile, I've read a lot of biographies. I wanted to be successful. So it was that passion that was burning me. Because you have read, there is no question you ask me, let me just tell you the truth. And that's why I'm asking you, because when I see the word, that's why I call myself global. People that know me, I call myself global doctor. I've been calling myself global even when I had just one trouser. Let me be honest with you. That's why when they are talking about, and kudos to both of you, at least, for paying attention to your environment, because that's where it starts from. And so I'm going to give two of you $100. Wow. Yes. So that was where I wanted to go. And I'm going to ask another question. Okay. All right. So, you know why? Knowledge. I wanted to let you guys know the importance of what? Knowledge. Because when you're talking about consistency, it starts from, do you even know what is happening in your environment? Some of us, every day, you every time, from one skit to another skit, to another skit, to another skit, all your data. That data that you're supposed to use to acquire right knowledge in your area of expertise. You will watch skit saute, you are tired. and then you will eat breakfast, watch skits. You will, I'm not saying, I watch too, so, but I'm just saying, knowledge, right knowledge, appropriate knowledge is very important. Then the next, we're talking about cash box, attitude. Attitude. Because you might have bad attitude too and you are doing it consistently, you won't go far. Attitude. The only word in the only alphabetical word that has 100% when you the summation together is what? Attitude. That's why they say your attitude determines your what? Your altitude. So now, from the appropriate knowledge to what? To attitude, and then cash. The third one is skill. Skill, practical knowledge. Practical, whatever you're doing, yes, even if you're a chartered accountant, if you're a lawyer, you should read, you understand, a lot of case scenarios. You should have the practical knowledge, hands-on knowledge of whatever you're doing. Don't let it just stop in the theoretical knowledge. You understand? Which is the challenge. A lot of people, some people will have, certification, and then they ask them questions they cannot answer. No. So yes, that is a starting point. Yes, but you have to move to the practical knowledge. And that, is very important. So, and then, because at the end of the day, when you have the appropriate knowledge, you have the right attitude, you have the right skills, practical skills, and then the next is habits. All of this becomes your habits. And there's what is called the law of atomicity. Whatever you do daily becomes what you become. And that's where consistency then comes in. Because when you get those 4 things correctly, the first 3, which is the knowledge, your attitude, your skill, then habits. And that was what happened to me. Then what do? Then speed then becomes what? An advantage. You are running. Guess what? Because for every one of you that is in this place today, because the challenge is the internet age is the challenge with the internet age is everybody wants to do it now. Sometimes, it takes time. Yes. Even all the people that you think, do you know when Burna Boy has been singing? Even some people that wants to sing. You think, they will shoot the band, go and check the internet. They didn't just appear. I'm even talking about music. Not to talk about if you run a business, if you're in a career, you need to search. But what is key is when you then give it time. Time, because as you are building it along the line, of course, there are things, there are immediate success you will celebrate. There are, which is what I call operational. You start to reap benefit. But there are some that they are tactical. Those success, those immediate gratification won't come until 1 to 2 years. And then there are some that are strategic. It takes time. It's not possible. But with the heart and science of consistency, when you understand all of this together, what is going to happen to you is, and that's why, because the best book I've read is the Bible. So in the Bible, the Bible says that the path of the righteous will continue to do or shine. So, do you know why? Because of consistency, you will not know a better yesterday. You keep moving from strength. Not that there won't be challenges. There will be challenges. Guess what? A lot of things some people this year, when they were celebrating that, Mr. Man, thank God for your life. At least you have arrived. Thank God. My wife was shocked when I told her. I wasn't telling her when I was in the process. But when I got the admission that I'm going back to school again, she said, believe me sincerely. I've done masters, I have PhD in cybersecurity. I'm going to, because of what? I want to change. There's some things I wanted to do in a long time. Now I'm going to school, I'm going back to Oxford. I've gotten the admission. If I let me not hand to you, this education that people are saying 56, I'm going to 500. Yeah. So, so at the end of the day, so it is about you. But my point is this, please. There is nobody that cannot do it. I started with OND. So today when people see, you drive this, you drive that, you fly this, I started business with one person, I'm rounding up, right? Okay, so, but the truth of the matter is, I want to, so with OND, and that's when consistency, because what consistency does is to tow an average. I'm just an average person. it turns an average to what? To an outstanding excellence. That's what consistency. That's why there is the law of mastery that anything, go and write today's date down. Anything that you do, there is the law of 10,000 hours. Go, just Google it. That anything that you're doing, if you invest 10,000 hours, that's where consistency is. Believe me sincerely, you will grow. Because you know what 10,000 hours is? That means you're doing that thing over and over again. And that's why Bruce Lee said that he doesn't fear people with 1,000 kicks. But he fears someone that can turn a kick with 1,000 times. Just one kick. Not someone that has different styles of 1,000 kicks. Do you understand? You didn't get that gist. There's some people, they can do this one today, they do this tomorrow. There's no focus. But he's saying, just focus. Somebody can throw a kick in 1,000 times. You should, that's where consistency is all about. And believe me sincerely, at the end of the day, but consistency doesn't just happen. Which is why I started from one. You have to retreat. After today, debrief with yourself. Where do you see yourself in the next 1 year? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I have been practicing this all my life. All my life. In fact, that age 25, when I was that OND, that I finished OND, I set a goal for myself. 5 years goal. When I'm going to be 35, when I'm going to be 40, from 40 to 45, from 45 to 50. Let me be honest with you. As I am now, I have a goal till I'm going to be 100. Reaching down that I know, yes. But all of us, we just move life. We just say, it's what we be, we be. My brothers and sisters, what we be, it will shock you. Because what we be might not be until you start to pursue. But of course, sometimes too, because we have to be careful, because I'm rounding up, that's why I'm saying break it down. There are things that you have to do immediate now. And that was why, I've done houseboy before, there were things that I needed to put food on my table. That is operational goal. So what you're doing right now, it might just be something that you need to do. For instance, maybe sometimes some of you might need to take up a job as a receptionist. It is an operational goal. But then tell yourself, where do you see yourself reward? In the next 2 years, 3 years, then in the next 5 years. But do you know the challenge? A lot of people get stuck in their words, in their operational goal. Which is why, yes, some of those guys, when I was selling on the bridge, those guys, all they could see in their life is selling on the bridge. But you want to hear the truth. I was selling on the bridge, but I didn't get stuck in my mentality because I knew it was just a means to an end. That is not the end itself. So whatever you are doing now, right now, believe me, it's still a means to an end. There is a goal in mind. You need to be able to think about that goal and every time keep refining it. And with those 4 elements, knowledge, attitude, skill, and habit, you get to the best.